What's up? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Jorge. If you're new here, very happy you're here because I'm going to kick off my living room transformation videos. And the reason I say video is rather than condensing it into one video, I kind of want to go in depth and bring you along the process. So there'll be a couple of videos on this before we do that final living room reveal. It's not just a living room, it's actually served as the family room, and it's also connected to this space that I'm in, which you're probably familiar with, which is my workspace. A workspace. I think it's time for a refresh. Nothing too crazy. As a minimalist, I like to keep things simple, so I want to execute a space that is very calming, that is a nice space, a foundation for me to add in color when I want to incorporate the DIYs that I often share on this channel, the vintage pieces that I'm always finding. Having a versatile space that can definitely evolve with time. So we're gonna do this in a couple of videos. Today we're gonna kick it off with the front entry. The front entry needs a little bit of love, so we're gonna do that. But before, let's get into the befores. So this is the living room, which you have probably seen glimpses of. Now these are, I guess, the curtains. Now, I definitely like them, but they will be changing. We're going to be getting a new sofa. I really want to make this travertine table work. One of my best vintage finds, and I really love it. And I love just that natural element. Now, these are my plants. This is the, oh sorry, the lighting's pretty bright. This is like the only space in the house that gets actually decent lighting for these plants. So I need to make them work here. Gonna do some chairs here. Also, this curtain rod is about to fall on me, so I need to definitely fix that. So this is moving into my workspace. Yes, I know. I have been a victim of the boob light. Don't worry, we're gonna explain this later in the video. Let's ignore it for right now. I like to use a round dining table because I just makes it easier for my workflow, and it's pretty good for a small space. Really like my credenza hack. I think I'm going to be keeping that. I want to integrate this beautiful vintage cabinet. You probably saw a video of this, DIY video. Really like it. So that's that space that we're going to also include. Okay, so this is the other side. Don't pay attention to the entry right now. This is the TV built-in that I designed and built actually a few years ago. Gonna give it a couple of updates with the hardware. I previously gave it a fresh coat of white paint that I really liked. And like I said, this also functions as the family room, so you know the TV has to stay, unfortunately. And then of course this little corner right here that you probably see in my videos. Really love this credenza. Vintage credenza that I bought. Actually picked up a couple of hours from here, but very worth the drive. Now, I want to treat this more like a design project where I'm the client, but also the designer. And up to right now, and maybe you have sort of the same issue, maybe not issue, but I often love finding new pieces. Going to the store, online, and sometimes I'll buy them, bring them home, and it's like, oh crap, how do I make this work? And for the most part, I've done a pretty good job of bringing things together and sort of curating the space, but I want to treat this like a design project from start to finish, creating a plan, because creating a plan really sets you up for success for designing a space. And that doesn't necessarily mean that the final result is going to be what you planned, but having a plan will really help you get the space that you want, and then you can start incorporating the trends or the things that you're loving that you can easily switch out. Now for the fun part, let me bring you in and show you my inspiration and plan for this project. As I start to put together a design plan, I begin by sourcing inspiration not just from interior design. I often look towards nature for its large influence. The enchanting landscapes, soft colors, array of materials, and constant evolution start to set the mood. Then I make a list of the things that I really enjoy about design, the things that I actively love doing, including vintage shopping and DIYing. Then I take note on some of the things that I gravitate towards, including the wabi-sabi tradition, which really celebrates and acknowledges the beauty of imperfection and impermanence. Ooh, Venetian plaster. Venetian plaster has been on my list for honestly a few years, but I recently encountered lime wash paint, which I did in my bathroom. I absolutely love it, and I think it's a great alternative, so I definitely want to expand on that. Continue exploring the commonalities that I love in interiors. I tend to gravitate towards a lot of mid-century modern and vintage pieces, and I really love how vintage meets modern. These are some of my recent saves online. I've said this many times before, but contrast is a very powerful technique. I absolutely think this black and white is timeless. There are of course lots of different contrast techniques you can do, not just in interior design, but through art and all sorts of mediums. But wow, look at this. Color is a beautiful thing. These photos of inspiration are definitely giving it to me. They're not too much, they're just enough. And as I design my living room, I want to be able to have a solid foundation to add color as I want. Maybe switch it with the seasons or however the mood I'm feeling, but definitely color. Let me show you my mood board in action, but first here's a couple things to note for this living room. It needs to be livable and be comfortable for my family. It's going to be a modest budget and not take it too seriously. It needs to have fun, not so uptight. And my family requested some recliners. Yeah, I know. We're going to make them work. Now here's a quick drawing that I did of the living room. Don't pay too much attention to it. It's not to scale, but it's a good reference point. Now, I do have some dark wood floors that we are going to be keeping, and I'm going to play off of the contrast. So we're going to do a black front door, do some nice lime wash walls. You know, I love it. We're going to really take it to the next level with the lime wash, I feel like, and then add some window treatments that really play off of the walls, keep it creamy, beige, white. Ooh, beautiful modern sofa. More details on this in a future video. And of course, I do want to incorporate my travertine coffee table. I think I'm not going to use the side table though. Then a nice rug to ground the space, bring together the color palette, and some sexy lighting. We all need some sexy lighting. This is going to be a good opportunity to mix metals. Might even change out the switch covers and outlet covers, and maybe something bronze. Of course, a recliner. We need a recliner per family's request. Found this one, which I think I'm going to make work. More details on that soon. And then decor. We need some nice decor and maybe add some color through the artwork. I still haven't figured it out, but again, this is more of a mood board. It's not the final design. We'll have to stay tuned to the end to see that in the final reveal, but just something to play off of. Excuse me, it's time. Yes, it is time to talk about today's sponsor, Green Chef. My favorite this week was the apricot and caramelized onion flatbread. Seriously, it was delicious. Green Chef is a USD certified organic company, and what's great is they deliver dishes for a variety of lifestyle, including keto, paleo, plant-powered, or those who simply want a little bit more balance. I'm going to be fully honest with you, some days can be pretty busy, but Green Chef makes cooking easy with dinner options that work around my lifestyle and not the other way around. Now, Green Chef's ingredients come pre-measured, perfectly proportioned, and mostly prepped. We love that. We love that. And there's no need to get bored with food because Green Chef's expert chefs curate every recipe with over 30 meal choices per week with the flexibility to switch plans so you'll never sacrifice taste for nutrition. Ooh, that's what I'm talking about. Seriously, so delicious. Now, Green Chef is giving Casa Refined subscribers a special offer. Now you can go to greenchef.us, enter code CasaRefined125 at checkout because you can get $125 off plus free shipping on your first box. Yes, we love it. We love it. Thanks again to Green Chef for partnering in today's video. So let's just talk about the sofa for a moment. We will be getting rid of this. It's just not going to work for a couple of reasons. There's two things that kind of bother me about it. But I do have to say, for a $500 sofa, I don't think you can beat it because it's a sofa. It feels like a sofa and not a futon, if you know what I mean. So here's the two things that I dislike about this. Number one is the piping. I'm not the biggest fan of piping because over time, this starts to happen. It starts to lose its shape, and I try to fluff it up as much as I can. I even added a little bit more fill, down alternative fill. But still, it loses its shape, and it's kind of annoying because then I have to kind of like go in and like fix it. but you can only do so much. And as you can see, it has the piping all the way around pretty much every corner. And I do like the modular form of it. But the other thing that bothers me, or not bothers me, it's just the color. The color is not the color that I want for this space. It just may be a little bit too dark. This, I would say, is like a medium gray, but depending on like the lighting and what angle you look at it, it kind of looks darker sometimes. Sometimes it looks lighter. And I don't like this sort of texture, this velvety, I don't know what it is, but not the biggest fan of it. But again, like I said, for a $500 sofa, I think it's pretty good. I might even recommend it, to be honest with you, if you're looking for a $500 sofa, but like I said, it's not going to work for this space. You know, front entries are kind of interesting. It's what greets you after a long day of work. It's what greets your guests. And how fabulous is it to have a grand entry, beautiful foyer, echoing, huge tiles on the floor, spacious maybe windows on either side of the door, an 8-foot tall door. But maybe you have a tiny little corner like I do. And so, again, such a small little corner, but I definitely want to give it sort of make it a little bit more special. So I definitely want to play up the use of contrast. Again, I like minimalism here, and just sometimes it's just about the little details. So I definitely want to paint the front door, change up the hardware, and address the lighting. So I have a dirty little secret, I guess, and it's time to come clean. I have been dodging certain camera angles in my videos for a good reason. Let me just pull the bandit. Let me show you. I know, I have been a victim of the boob light. Yes, I am suffering from the boob light here at the house. Gosh, I know, it's horrible. This light, actually there's a couple more around the house, but we're only focusing here. This light has been installed for a few years, and we've done a couple of changes throughout the house over the years, and somehow this light ends up staying. So we're gonna get rid of this monstrosity. And honestly, I was kind of brainstorming for a while, like, is there a way to save the boob light? Meaning changing it or doing a DIY that makes it not a boob light and make it look more interesting. I haven't figured it out. If you have any ideas on how you could save a boob light, let me know, because I certainly do. So my best solution is to replace it. I went ahead and ordered a beautiful, a sexy light that hopefully will arrive in time for this video. If not, I will update you in the future. But for now, let's go ahead and get started with the doors, changing out the hardware, painting, and we'll deal with the light later. So just pretend it's not there throughout the video. Play devil's advocate for a second, and let's assume, not this light fixture, but if you were to mix metals, which I definitely believe in mixing metals, I just feel like ultra bronze and these silver hardware, it doesn't work well together. It kind of is distracting. It feels disjointed. With mixing metals, I believe metals that are alike or at least have the same sort of undertone, so maybe like, you know, brass and bronze could potentially work, but this is not working. And just to give you an idea of where we're at, so this is the living room, this is the entry, and then this is the dining room, which I really have not showed. We don't need to go in there right now. We're gonna focus on that in the future, don't you worry. The first plan of attack is I'm gonna paint the front door black. Now, as we can reference in our mood board here, I really like the use of contrast, which is what I'm going for here. And black on black, I think, is very moody, so I've paired it with a modern black knob. Let me show you. Somehow I need to figure out how to change this out because I've never done it before, but I guess there's YouTube. That scared the... Sorry about that. So this is the hardware that I'm going with. Beautiful matte black, very modern, has the lever style, as you can see here, which, ooh, that's gonna look really good. Well, this is actually the outside part. Although, how cool would it be if this was also like the front or the inside, interior? The paint that I actually went with is called Scuff Paint, Scuff Defense. This is by Behr, stain blocking paint and primer, which I think is a good solution for a front door or a door that, you know, gets lots of traffic. The exact color is called black, just black. So I guess let's start painting. Okay, well, I guess it's time to remove the hardware, the doorknob. I don't know how to do this. All right, YouTube.
Watching this video because you want to learn how to replace this doorknob on an X.
Oh, there we go. Got it. So I'm just gonna go ahead and put some tape on the outside just so that the cold doesn't come in while the paint is drying. It's gonna need a touch up too. Alright, first coat is now dry. I'm going to go in for a second coat. Also, it's been a little bit cloudy the last few days. Today the sun is finally out, so I've been taking advantage and shooting some content. Where's that ice cream again? The ice cream truck. It's like mid-November. Anyways, just going to go in to a second coat and then we'll go on to the next step. Second coat is complete. Let me tell you, it looks so much better. I cannot wait to put in the new hardware. Good morning. Oh my gosh, last night I kept freaking out. I thought the door was open just because I'm not used to it being so dark. But anyways, last night I went ahead and changed out the hardware, the doorknob. Took me a little bit of a time, about an hour, just because I hadn't done that before, but I just followed the instructions on the package. It's pretty actually easy to do. And I could say I'm pretty comfortable changing out doorknobs now, so I'm gonna go ahead and change out the closet doorknob as well as the hinges. So I'm gonna just quickly show you how you can change a doorknob, because I feel like changing out a doorknob is a nice way to kind of just change the look of your spaces, especially doors that maybe you're not in love with. Maybe just it's the doorknob that you need to change out, or the hardware, as well as a fresh coat of paint. But let's go ahead and do that. Hopefully the new light fixture arrives. Yeah, I know. I've been tracking it. I don't know if it's gonna make it in time for the video. Let's just hope. Alright, let's hope I don't confuse you here, but luckily there's thousands of videos you can watch on YouTube. The first thing you want to do is go ahead and remove the old doorknob, take a screwdriver and remove the two screws holding the old latch mechanism as well as the edge of the door here. Pretty simple. And then you kind of have to just like wiggle it out. It might be a little bit stuck, especially if it's an older door. Installing the new doorknob is basically the same thing, but in the reverse order. You want to ensure you have the correct back set and insert the new latch. Definitely follow the instructions on your new doorknob. I'm sure it's going to tell you. Honestly, I don't know if this was much of a help, but there you have it. Much better. Now on to the hinges. Now the hinges are actually really easy to do. Basically, you just unscrew them and put the new ones on. So the new light has still not arrived in time for this video. So I'm just gonna have to live with this ugly boob light for just a little bit longer. But we've made some great progress. So let's just take a look at the before and the current. I wouldn't call it afters. Nothing too crazy, but it's amazing what a fresh coat of paint can do in some new hardware. Okay, so be sure to hit that subscribe button. Like I said, I'm still not quite done. We still got to change out that ugly light. I'm so excited to get started on this living room transformation. Some things are starting to arrive, some supplies. We're going to be painting, some new furniture, some new lighting, decor, some DIYs. Very, very eager to share with you. But I think we're going to call it good for the day. I think I had lots of fun. So I hope you did too. Comment down below. Let me know your thoughts, questions. So have an amazing day, and I'm going to see you in the next video. Bye.